19, 43 points for the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell.
From the gridiron to the airwaves, it's time for the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Martin is a national championship fullback from the 1992 Alabama Crimson Tide. Known for his bruising runs and devastating blocks now, he's bulldozing through sports talk with that same championship intensity. Joining him is his son, Xavier, a savant of football knowledge and statistical insight. He's your go-to source for the latest recruiting news and insider updates from across the Bama Nation. Together, they deliver fair and balanced analysis from an insider's perspective with real conversations with the callers, the listeners, and the online maniacs get in on the action by sharing their thoughts, their comment, and their reaction. Join our online maniacs at facebook.com/The Martin Houston Show. You're listening to Tide 100.9 and 1230 WTBC. It's time for kickoff, so buckle up and get ready, because this is the sound of Bama sports. The Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier is live. Roll Tide, roll!
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. On this Tuesday edition, we are joined by DC of DC Capstone Report, as we are each and every day. We are also powered by Box Eye Care. Man, we got a lot to get into today, continuing the conversation. How will the college football playoff rankings show tonight? What will they do? We'll also get DC's opinions on the game from Saturday, what Alabama needs to change. Also, found something interesting yesterday that reports to Ryan Williams' usage and where he lines up and things of that nature, and a former player that Ryan Grubb coached and how his usage was used in a similar way last year. And now that that's changed, he's on his way to a record-setting season. So we got a lot to get into and more. Over to you, Pops.
All right. Oh, X, you blaming Grub for something else, man? Come on. But anyway, we're gonna talk about it. Grub has Alabama at 10-2. If he's as bad as we say, as bad as Bama Nation thinks, just think how good this team is. Let's figure it out. Or is it possible that this is a 2025 version of the 1992 team? An offense that just gets it done somehow, some way, ugly, not pretty, and a defense that makes the plays when they have to make the plays. And they just don't blow people out. And they actually beat the good teams more handily than they do the average teams. Sounds a lot like 92. Could that be what we're watching?
No.
And Alabama is in the SEC championship game, and we all would have taken it, but boy, we are not satisfied. That's okay though. That's that Crimson Tide standard. 10-2, 2 years removed from Saban playing for the SEC championship. All the other dynasties out there, when they lost their coaches, they look like the New York Giants versus the New England Patriots in a rebuild, right? And that's what Alabama has done. But is it enough? Is it enough? Will they be left out of the college football playoffs? Where will they be? Will they be number 10, number 9? Where will they be tonight? I think it matters. Are they safe? Are they in? Is it fair that Notre Dame's in? We'll talk about all of those different things as well. We'll get DC's good, bad, and ugly. We'll run through that as well. And we didn't even finish talking about basketball, but we probably won't get to that today. But Alabama basketball coming back off of a disappointing win to blow out their opponents by a combined total 60 points in 2 games. So kind of crazy what Nate Oates is doing and quietly just becoming a man on the hardwood. So lots of conversation to get to. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world. Today is Giving Tuesday. So if you have an organization out there that you support, today is the day to give it. And a lot of those organizations actually have matching funds, so you can double up your support on this Giving Tuesday. I pray for all charitable organizations that's doing the work of the Lord, as well as helping people who legitimately need help out there and being ran with integrity, honesty, and ethics. So I pray for those organizations. Good morning to DC. Good morning, DC. How you doing, sir?
Oh, doing great, Martin. How you doing this morning? Morning, X.
Morning.
Good morning. Yeah, and hey, we got the Maniacs getting in on it this morning. Good morning. We got Tim Richardson, heavy hitter, jumping in there. Rusty Dance jumping in. Rodriguez Carlisle bringing it up from Jacksonville, Florida. Jacob Powell. Jacob was on us, and we still don't know what's going on with Ryan Williams. Maybe today, Jacob, we give you a little bit more of what's going on there. Samuel Pittner jumping in. Miss Teresa Pittner jumping in. I love it. Great day in the Lord. Roll Tide, roll. Chuck Hunt checking in from Louisiana. Got Lance Larkin jumping in. Hollywood, the barber. Good morning, fam. Roll Tide. Curse Moore II. And Hollywood, the barber. X, DC, I'll let you start off with this. Since I mentioned the 92 team. This is just a sidebar conversation coming to you from the Maniacs. Hollywood, the barber said, I don't think we'll blow out teams like we did with Saban. Too much parity. It's an even playing field now. Look at Vandy. DC.
I think times have changed. You got better players on different teams, but I don't know. I think this team is built a little like the '92 team. I think it makes the plays when it has to make the plays, and defense is really king on this team. But I don't think you compare teams to other teams. Just everything I believe is in a microcosm of itself. And I hear X and I hear other people say things like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" My goodness, let's talk about what's right. We're 10-2 in the SEC championship and the number one seed in the SEC championship. Let's enjoy and be thankful for what we got instead of worried about what may be wrong. Why does something have to be wrong? Why does something have to be wrong with Ryan Williams? Maybe we got three other players that are executing and doing a better job. Why does something got to be wrong? Let's talk about what's right.
X.
The reason you talk about what's wrong with Ryan Williams is because you hope there's something wrong with Ryan Williams and not him checking out. Because next year, you don't have a Jeremy Bernard. Next year, you might not have an Isaiah Horton. So who are you going to rely on? Latair Brooks? Latair Brooks is really good. But who else you going to – Rico Scott, I think, is solid. Cole Adams, I think, is solid. But none of those – guys are a Ryan Williams level talent. That's why you question what's going on when you're a guy that 3-4 games into his freshman year as a 17-year-old put up 170 against a Georgia defense, and he's had 2 100-yard games since then, maybe, and he's played in almost 30 career games now. And you look at the other superstar true freshman and see what he's done since that point of their freshman year. But the other reason I can't compare what made the 92 team so good was that once they got a lead on you, they could run the ball, destroy the clock, and play keep away. This 2025 Alabama team, we haven't seen do that once this year. And that's the difference. When you have a run game where you can kill the clock, you can burn that thing up, it doesn't matter if you only score 17. The other team's not going to have the ball enough to do it. We get up 17 and then start going 3 and out and giving them an opportunity to get back in the game. And that's been a repetitive thing. And we can do that against an Auburn. We can do that against some of these other an LSU that we got away with it against. Teams like that. We can't do that against Georgia again. We got lucky. I mean, we scored 24 points in the first half against Georgia, and was a drop pass away, a wide open drop pass away from losing to Georgia back in September. If we're going to be realistic, and so that's the thing that concerns me going into Saturday. That also is the thing that concerns me in the playoffs against an Ohio State, an Indiana, and schools like that.
Yeah, and both of you are right, by the way. We do need to appreciate what we're doing, DC, but we need Ryan Williams, in my opinion, to get by the playoff teams. You don't lose a.
I didn't say we didn't need Ryan Williams. My thing is this: why does something have to be wrong with Ryan Williams today? You can't compare his freshman season to this season because he didn't have the same players around him. He didn't have the same players around him. We've got more people we can shred the ball out to than we did in the special season. A lot of times we had to go to Ryan Williams. He was the only guy we could go to. We don't have that. We don't have
DC,
haven't had to do that this year.
DC, I'm gonna make you a coach. You're the coach, and you saw what you've seen. You wouldn't be asking what's wrong around. You wouldn't be trying to figure out how to get him more involved.
Not really. Not to be honest. Everybody's hyped up Ryan Williams like he's the best. He is. He's a great player. He's a great player, but we have people around him that we can get the balls to that are doing just as well as Ryan Williams has done. We don't have. I mean, I think we put too much pressure on the kid to be a world beater, to be himself. And then now we got people around him that we can distribute the ball to. I don't think it's great to rely on one player.
You're wasting a position if you don't answer that question, though, DC. You can't have
what are we wasting?
In the first. You can't have a top 3 receiver, DC, in your organization, a top 3 producer. Let's just say he's the 3rd best wide receiver, okay? Because he's out there for a reason with the starting lineup. He would be the number 3 guy. You can't have a number 3 guy that has only been involved and targeted 13 times in 5 games and not be saying, do we need to make a change? I think you have to address and ask the question. Now, when I ask the question, what's wrong with Ryan Williams? That doesn't mean that I think Ryan is doing something wrong. It means that I need to figure out, okay, this guy, maybe nothing's wrong with Ryan Williams, to your point. But I have to ask the question if I'm going to maximize my team going into a championship run. You cannot just say, okay, everybody is that much better than Ryan Williams. They may be, but they weren't early in the year. And so have they gotten better and Ryan regressed? Have they gotten better and Ryan's still the same? Is it Ryan in the slot? Is it Ryan? Is it the fact that, to your point, last year Ryan Williams may not be as good as we thought? He may have just been around bad people. But look at what happened between Jerry Bernard last year and this year. Why is Jerry Bernard so much better? Did Ryan not do something? You have to ask those questions to get to the solution. Now, the answer may be there's nothing wrong with Ryan Williams. He just is not as good as we thought he were. He looked really good last year. Or maybe everybody has said, this is how you stop him. Or maybe, DC, and we got to hit the break here, but here's the thing, DC, and it may be that Ryan Williams don't like catching the ball over the middle. I mean, it could be simple as that. So, but I think you have to ask the question, DC. But I also think you have to go, we won against the toughest defenses when he's been his worst. Can we do that against Georgia? But if you're going into Georgia, you much rather have Ryan Williams engaged and connected and not just ignore it. I'll let you respond.
Oh, I agree. I think Ryan Williams has a better game against Georgia than he would ever have against Auburn. I really believe that. I don't think he was in the game plan for the Auburn. I really don't. I don't think he started. I think Brooks started.
And that's what makes you go, why? What's going on?
But it's not just Auburn. It's a 5-game streak where he's been going downhill. So why?
Well, I think
You have to
I think
ask
his confidence to be better against Georgia than it was against the other teams. I think his confidence to be much better against Georgia than it was against the other teams. I think you'll see it in this game.
But why?
Well, why
And that's the question you have to ask. You have to ask the question.
I think he's had success against Georgia before, and I think he'll enjoy that success again.
So and if that's the case, he's not the player we think he is. He just needs favorable situations, and that could be the answer. I mean, literally.
Yeah, I think it's a situational thing that when the way a certain team plays you, I don't think Ryan Williams is a physical receiver. I think he's a more finesse route runner, and I think when you're playing a team like Auburn, who decided they were going to play zone, they were going to hit you hard after you catch the ball, especially over the middle. I don't think he would have been good in that game. I don't think he had the skills. But against Georgia, who likes to play the cover two or the press coverage, I think he has a great skill set against them. So I think he matches up well against Georgia. I think the games that he's played well against, he's matched up really well against the schemes they were playing.
And that's the question. But that's what I'm saying. You have to ask those questions. You have to game plan around that. You have to think, is that what it is? And X has something he's going to share on the other side that very well may answer exactly what you said, I said, and Xavier said. But I do say that we need to enjoy where we're at, but we also need to go, okay, here's a guy that was on the cover. Here's a guy who was talked about Heisman early in his freshman year. Here's a guy who is being compared to Jeremiah Smith. And the gap between those two now is so big, the Grand Canyon would fit in with room to spare in terms of their production. This guy I still think he's an elite talent. I think there's something off. I don't know what it is. Maybe we can figure it out on the other side. You listen to the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier with DC Capstone Report.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on this Tuesday. Well, a little bit of a rough start as we're dealing with a lot of rain in the area, and we do have an accident in Bellwood on Lurleen Wallace southbound after 12th Street. That accident is going to sit in your right lane. Otherwise, traffic on the rest of the freeways, well, it is flowing, but you don't want to let your guard down, so do drive, reduce your speed here on these wet streets. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com.
Payments from $199 a month and up to $6,500 off select Nissan models only at Townsend Nissan. Lifetime warranty, free oil changes, and a pre-approval with no impact to your credit. TownsendNissan.com.
With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your go-to destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 21+.
There's the, yes, I'd like some popcorn, yes. There's the, yes, my team won, yes. And then there's the yes you never forget. When you open a tiny box that says Fincher and Osmond, it's only second in line behind I do. But it's a yes you'll feel down to your toes.
I'm Tom Osmond, your jeweler at Fincher and Osmond Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
If you've got some fall projects you need done around your home, give Hudco Landscaping and Irrigation a call. Since 1998, they've been serving West Alabama homeowners and business owners with quality services, including fencing repair and installation, hardscape design and construction, grade work, excavation, site prepping, mowing, mulching, shrub trimming, retaining walls, decks, paver patios, outdoor living spaces, and more. Let the professionals at Hudco Landscaping and Irrigation do those projects around your home or business. HudcoLandscape.com.
your flagship home of Alabama sports.
All season long, don't miss a minute of Alabama football coverage right here on 95.3 The Bear and Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC. And that means after the games, the Tide post-game show is live. Call in, talk about what just happened on the field, hear great moments from the game. The Tide post-game show is powered by Pearl River Resort, DCH Regional Medical Center, Tuscaloosa Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and 2 Dimes.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com, or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
We're forecasting gradual clearing today, the high at 48. A cold night tonight, clear with the low at 25. Tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny, the high 52. Thursday, cloudy and very cool. Some rain at times during the day, the high 48. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 42 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. You're in with the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, and we're asking questions that get you to respond. We'll talk about that in just a second. But before I do that, let's pay some bills. Dixie Battery Supply. We buy junk batteries. Tuscaloosa, Northport, and Bessemer. All you need to do if you physically want a battery, go to one of those locations. They have batteries from the smallest device up to the largest vehicles and devices, and they will power you. You will never feel powerless again. That's Dixie Battery Supply. They have reconditioned batteries as well. If you can't afford to get one brand new, and their reconditioned batteries are A+++. So go check them out. That's Dixie Battery Supply, DixieBatterySupply.com. All right. DC said, why are we focused on what's wrong? Can't we just enjoy it? Yes, but DC, there's a sports talk show, and we didn't bring that question up, DC. That was our listening audience yesterday. Every radio show that I talked about, I looked online and they're like, what's wrong with Ryan Williams? So if everybody else is asking and talking about it, we have to talk about it. Now, is there something wrong? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. But you have to ask the question. And Jacob Powell said he didn't get the ball thrown to him at least in one time last game. So the last 5 games didn't suit the game plan. And that's what you kind of got to ask yourself. This is a trend. Is he as good as we think? And, oh, yeah, by the way, we're a sports talk show. We're a game show, DC. And what news sells, unfortunately? What news gets people going? Not the good news. It's the bad news, unfortunately. So let's get to the callers. Callers, I'm going to tell you before we get in, we got 4 of you lined up. We're going to rapid fire you, get you in, get your point, talk about it, and then we're going to get to the next caller. Philip, you're in on the hotline with Xavier and DC. They're debating it out. I'm refereeing. What you got, man?
Can I be a little controversial?
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead. I lost faith in Jamarcus Shepard last year. What do Jalen Hale, Rico Scott, Cole Adams, and Mbakwe have in common?
Jalen Hill had a severe knee injury that I think has altered the course of his career. Jalen Mbakwe made a position change, which I think was stupid because he was walking into a room that was already stacked against him. Rico plays. He's just not a featured part of the offense. Cole plays some.
Yeah, they're all coached by Jamarcus Shepard.
Yeah, but they're also not.
But so is Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton.
That's right. And those guys were totally seasoned. Those guys were totally seasoned when they arrived. I don't think the development.
Jamarcus Shepard coached Jeremy Bernard at Washington, though. He was
saying those guys are seasoned veterans, and I don't think there's been enough development for our younger guys. Rico Scott, I don't even know how many plays he played the other night.
But he's not I want DC to respond, and I'll let you come back and respond. But I'll say this: you said you're going to be controversial. That means that there's a hefty response coming. DC.
I disagree with anything that says that Jamarcus Shepard is not a good wide receiver. I think there's enough tape and enough evidence of his players that he's developed over the years at Washington and other places to say that he's a good. I mean, I understand you can make that argument, but I just disagree.
Yeah. And Philip, I'm gonna go with those guys. I have to disagree with you on that because the thing that you're saying contradicts itself. Isaiah Horton has gotten better as the year went along. Isaiah Horton was not a seasoned receiver. He played 1 year at Miami. So he's gotten better this year. The very guy
Jamarcus Shepard is the only wide receiver coach Jeremy Bernard has ever had.
Right. And then the Brooks, the reason Rico Scott isn't playing is a freshman came in and got better as the season went along and took his spot. So the very Rico Scott is an older player than Brooks. So it kind of contradicts itself. I'm going to play Jamarcus Shepard comment here since you made that statement. But we got to get to the next caller. You got anything else before I let you go?
No, that's it. We can agree to disagree, and that's okay. But
yeah,
that's
absolutely. That's why I say this to Alabama Sports. You show your team. You can pick and say what you want. All right, Robert, you're in with Martin and Xavier and DC. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, I guess there's not a whole lot to say. You know, I kind of agree with the way you guys' assessment of. There's obviously something wrong. I mean, yeah, because he went from last season he was one of the best receivers in the country. So early this season, he probably drops to number 2 behind Jeremy Bernard. In the middle of the season, okay, you're probably down to number 3 behind Jeremy Bernard and Clavis, and who knows, a few others could beat you out for 3. And then now we go to the Auburn game where you might as well not have dressed out, because you didn't catch a ball and I didn't throw you a pass, so you might as well not have even dressed out. That's a huge shift from where you were to where you are that last game. Okay, now I got to ask, as the engineer, I got to ask, hey, okay, what's wrong with this variable right now? It shifted a whole lot, and I kind of need this one to be good. So, yeah, you got to ask that question. And he's got to think something's wrong. If he doesn't, goodness gracious, dude, you better think something's wrong. And of course, I'm sure the coaches probably think something's wrong. So, yeah, if there's something wrong, he has to hopefully he can get it right. If he doesn't, it's not so much, Alabama need him because, okay, we do have receivers that have shown they can step up and fill that gap, as DC correctly pointed out. But you, Ryan Williams, should want you to be one of those receivers because, hey, that NFL draft stock, they can drop a lot if you don't fix this. Because I don't want you for the Steelers team right now. So you may want to change that. The other team may feel the same way. So you really fix that, man. Yeah, there's something wrong.
Yeah, and DC, you and X respond to, could it be that his confidence was so shattered by the drops early? And listen, a quarterback has confidence in who he goes to. And JD on the Tide 109 app said maybe Tide doesn't trust him as much as he does the other guy. Respond, DC, and add to that.
Well, I agree with that. I think that there's been other players that emerged. There's go-to players, and he has confidence in catching the ball, especially over the middle, and not dropping the ball. And I think that Ryan Williams' confidence has gotten, like I said, it's gotten a little worse. That's why I think he'll get better against Georgia, because he's had good games against Georgia, and he'll have more confidence against Georgia. And so I agree with that assessment.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with how he's being used and where he's being utilized.
Go ahead, talk about
it. And people say Ryan's not a big guy. He's not, but that doesn't necessarily mean he is comfortable in the slot. And last year he played 21% of his snaps in the slot, so 1 out of every 5 plays he was in the slot. This year he's in the slot 61% of the time. And I think that's because that's where Grubb wants him. But as you can see, Ryan Grubb last year had JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, in the slot. Similar body types. JSN's a little bigger. He's a little older. Versus this year, he's playing less than 20% in the slot, and he's on a record-breaking path as a wide receiver. And skill set-wise, he and Ryan are very similar. Ryan was dominant last year as a 17-year-old playing on the outside, because there's certain things you have to do as an inside wide receiver. Going over the middle as a smaller guy is not favorable. Jeremy was a dominant slot wide receiver last year, in my opinion, and I think that's why they worked so good together. This year, you moved Jeremy outside and you moved Ryan inside, and you've seen struggles within his game. I think if you moved Ryan back outside, he'd get more back into form. And I think you would have seen a jump in his production. Maybe not crazy, but it been a little bit more consistent. He's able to get more open on those outside routes versus the inside route.
Yeah, and DC, I think there may be something to that. You mentioned he doesn't like catching the ball over the middle. He already had confidence. I don't know that he's this dominant route runner per se. I think he's quick in space. I think he can shake guys one-on-one, but I don't know how crisp his routes. I don't know that. I thought he was a pretty good route runner last year, but that may be that he's good at shaking one-on-one coverage. Do you give any credence, DC, to the fact that they moved him from the outside to the inside? And you said it, DC. His strength is not zone coverage, and he's not as tough going over the middle. So it seems like the things that you talked about, because if you're in the zone and you're outside, who's going to hit you? A DB, a corner, for the most part.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I agree with X. I agree with X on that. I think that him playing out of the slot's not a good place for him to play out of the slot. I don't think he has as good a production out of the slot, because it doesn't take advantage of his, his skill set that he does like. He does run well and does a good job of.
Yeah.
Well, one thing.
Touches.
Go ahead, Robert.
One more thing before I go. Yeah, one thing before I go. Yeah, that could be the case. Everything you said, but that means you're not developing for the next level, because the next level they kind of want to see you be able to run across to beat that zone coverage and to run in the slot. Now, if you're not capable of doing that, you can still make the league, but that's going to limit your,
Actually, they don't. Actually, the slot guys run a lot of underneath routes, Robert.
Right.
Versus, and that's where the linebackers hit you. I'm not saying he's afraid to run a post route or a deep crossing route. I'm saying he doesn't like that going across where those linebackers can hit him.
Right.
And that's where the slot guys
right.
So,
right.
So
I mean, you can. Yeah. I mean, that's good. I mean, that's how he wants to play, but that'll limit you as far as your,
not necessarily. And we gotta get the break, but Robert, appreciate it. Jackson Smith and Jigba was okay at doing it in the slot, but he's been an all-pro on the outside. And that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know if Jackson and Jigba is scared to go over the middle. I don't know if Ryan is. I'm just saying.
And I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is you had a guy who had a 1,000-yard season playing majority in the slot, but now he's having an all-pro season as an outside X or Z.
It's the offense, it's the play calling, and the quarterback.
Here's my devil's advocate to that, X. Can you not say that same thing about Jeremy Bernard this year? By him playing outside, he has upped his game. He's done better by Ryan Grubb moving him. He's using him more, utilizing more, getting more touches, and a lot better player this year than he was last year.
Yeah. And I'm not denying that.
That is, why is there something wrong with Ryan Williams? Why there's something it's just a situational way you play.
Because Jeremy has the skill set to be an inside and an outside wide receiver. I'm not saying I don't know if Ryan has that skill set to be an inside wide receiver, but I watched him as a 17-year-old be a dominant outside wide receiver.
What I would say, DC, is you're exactly right. Jeremy Bernard game went to the next level. But Ryan, I think we lost more on Ryan Williams. We've lost more in Ryan's production than we've gained in Jeremy's production versus last year. If you had Ty throwing to last year's receivers, you think about how many times Ryan was targeted and the ball was not on point last year, what his numbers would have been. Think about this. He got targeted as many times in the Tennessee game as he has the last 5 games. Almost. I think I'll go back and look, but I think he got targeted almost as many times in the Tennessee game.
He got targeted more times in the Tennessee game than he has the last 5.
And so there's something there that you have to get to. And we could go on and on. I just hope for all of us and Alabama fans, I'm pulling for Ryan Williams. There was a question about whether he leaves or not. Who knows? I guess he could leave. I guess he could go to Oregon State. If he goes to Oregon State with Jamarcus Shepard, we'll figure out whether Phillip had any water in his complaint or not. We'll be back on the other side.
Tide 100-point traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, it's a little nasty out there right now, folks, so do reduce your speed while driving. We got 2059. That's not doing too bad between McFarland and Joe Malisham. You're actually moving. Also on 43, that is starting to thicken up a bit on the southbound side to McFarland, which is nothing unusual. And we got Lurleen Wallace. Now, that is in the green. Just again, don't let your guard down. Between 15th and McFarland, you're doing pretty well. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
Childhood cancer is devastating, but childhood cancer is beatable with St. Jude. I knew that St. Jude was a children's hospital, that no one ever received a bill from St. Jude, but I in no way understood how completely they take care of their patients and their families. To any of the donors, I would say bless you and thank you, because without the donors, St. Jude wouldn't be here.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Whether you're a working professional or an active dad, Gameday Men's Health in Tuscaloosa offers convenient expert-backed care for all men looking to feel and perform their best. They specialize in testosterone therapy, ED, weight loss therapy, and peptide therapy. Their easy 3-step personalized treatment plan will get you on the right track to feeling and performing better. All you have to do is stop by Gameday Men's Health at 1013th Street East in Tuscaloosa for a free consultation.
Tired of cooking during the holidays? Let Chow's Country Buffet take care of it for you. Chow's Country Buffet, Tuscaloosa's best buffet restaurant, offers an all-you-can-eat spread filled with fan favorites, Chinese dishes, classic Southern staples, fried whole catfish, fried chicken, seafood, a wide variety of vegetables, and so much more. Bring the whole family and celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's at Chow's Country Buffet. And don't forget to save room for their delicious desserts. Happy holidays, and thank you for choosing them. Visit Chow's at 1100 Skyline Timberland Boulevard.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
Black Friday savings are here at the Home Depot, which means it's time to add new cordless power to your collection. Right now, when you buy a select battery kit from one of our top brands like Ryobi or Milwaukee, you'll get a select tool from that same brand for free. Click into one of our best deals of the season and stock up on tools for all your upcoming projects. Get Black Friday savings happening now at the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
All right, here's Jay Shepard. I think I like this dude.
Does he give you patience? No. He gives you the opportunity. Does he give you patience? No. He gives you the opportunity to create. Does he give you patience? No. He gives you the opportunity to create patience, to show that you are patient. Okay? All right, when you ask for toughness, does he give you toughness? No. He gives you the opportunity to display toughness. Right now, we got an opportunity to display everything that God has put in front of us. And if you don't take advantage of it, you don't want it. You don't want the dream. You don't want what he has in store for you. You don't take advantage of it. That's you. That's all you. Does he give you patience?
DC, could he be talking? Could that be the message? Maybe I've seen this, DC, and I'm not knocking it, but I've seen great players. Have it handed to them, and then when they have to fight, they have to display toughness. They have to go out and display discipline. They have to go out and take it back. They've never had to do that. So could he just be going through a growing pain where he's surrounded by talent that's similar? That's the question.
I think so. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's what I've been alluding to.
Yep. All right. Hey, we got 3 calls. Go ahead, X. We got 3 calls. We got the rapid fire here.
Yeah, and for anybody that wants to question what Jamarcus Shepard has done, go look at in 2021, the year before he got to Washington, what Jalen McMillan and Rome Odunze's stats were. Look at what they were the 2 years that he had them. Then look at what Jeremy's done from last year to this year and from when he was at Washington. Look at Isaiah Horton, who has fewer catches this year, more touchdowns, and you'll just understand Jamarcus Shepard is a good wide receiver coach. That's why he's now a head coach.
Absolutely. Todd, you're in with Martin, Xavier, and DC.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. You know, there's one play that Bama, they gashed Georgia with, and that's the screen pass across the middle. I think they ran it about 5 or 6 times, and Georgia only stuffed it 1 time. I was questioning, why we didn't see, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've seen 1 screen pass across the middle against Auburn, and that defense that was pinning their ears back, man, it seemed like the perfect play to run against a defense like Auburn. So you best believe Kirby Smart, man, he is going to prepare for that screen pass. And I'm just curious if we'll see it this Saturday, guys.
Yeah, we saw it 1 time. Thanks, Todd. We saw it. I think Kirby's going to prepare for it. And we saw AK Deer's only pass play was a screen right over the middle, close to getting some damage. I think we should have came back to it or went to it sooner. William from Pennsylvania, you're in with X and DC. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. One quick note about Ryan Williams. Maybe the young man is hurt. He's been popping up on the injury report on the probable and questionable list several times this year, and he might just be out there as a decoy. He might be nursing an injury. My other point is Alabama has unbelievable talent, a great job recruiting, and I think everything that's held them back this year, made these games so tough, is pure coaching. The play calling especially. Every one of these games is terrible to watch. Just a nail-biter, gut-wrenching game, and it shouldn't be. We have the talent to destroy a lot of these teams. Thanks, guys. I'll let you go.
Thanks, William. Hey, DC, X knows about it, but you watched it. That's why I made the comparison to the 92 team. Fans used to just be like, the play calling is horrible, and it was. I mean, it was difficult, but we were going to do what we did, and that was going to be our style of play, and we just would make enough plays to win.
Yeah, you played through it, Martin, and I watched the entire season. And that 92 season, reason I keep laughing is these are some of the exact same things that people were saying about the Alabama team. This is why Miami had so much confidence that they were going to wipe the floor with Alabama, because the media and everybody convinced that Alabama was just there, had just made it. They just got all the breaks. And when the truth was, they didn't get all the breaks. They had the defense that played so well that all the offense had to do was just play just well enough to get 1 point better than the other team, and we would win. And so that's why I laugh a little bit, because those that lived it and played it like you do realize that was a year where the defense carried, and everybody complained about the coach running the ball up the middle or playing or.
I think we may have lost CC. We may have lost
CC
on
that thing.
Okay. Yeah, and X, I'll let you respond, because the other part of that, X, was it almost cost us against Florida because we got up and we went conservative. And that's what but the opposite of this, we get up and then we do gimmick. That's my only concern here is go ahead.
And that's kind of what I was getting at. Y'all would get up and then y'all would ball control, right? And everybody talks about y'all's dad. Y'all played 13 games in 1992 and scored 30.7 times.
Yeah. I'm
not y'all's offense, points wise, is more prolific than this year's offense.
I agree. But our style made what I'm saying is, but we're 12 games in. And I think this is the style. I'm not saying that they're the same as 92. I'm saying we're complaining about a style, and this is the style. This is the style. I mean, this is the way this team wins. And the reason I'm like, man, if we could get some more from Ryan Williams, and I love Williams' point. Ryan very well. I know he's been injured, and they didn't talk a lot about it. Mm-hmm. And they don't want the media, they don't want other teams to know it because his effectiveness as a decoy, and that may be why he's not upset, because he knows that he's a decoy, and you still have to honor him if you don't know that he's injured. But if you know he's injured and he's just out there playing as a decoy, then you're schemed differently. So I think that great insight, William.
Yeah, and I think that definitely plays into it. It's just funny to me. Y'all were a run first team scoring 30 plus a game. This is a pass heavy team that has scored 30 points 2 times against Power 4 team.
Yeah. George from Macon, you're in with Xavier in DC. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. As far as a couple of comments, one of them on Ryan Williams. One that you've already mentioned, that the talent around that room is fantastic. So, they got to spread the ball around a little bit. Plus, this last game, we ran the ball much more. So it took targets away from players, and maybe it was some of the targets that would have probably been meant for Ryan Williams. Another thing, kind of centralized the throw between the hashes. And Martin, you made the comment going over the middle is Ryan Williams' strength. And as far as the offense this year, the competition is much stiffer because the top teams have been diluted because of the NIL and also the transfer portal. A lot of your first teamers and second teamers are going to other schools. So the top 5 or 6 teams in the competition in the SEC is much stronger than it has been in the past. And also they got better defenses, and that is going to have an effect on your offense. And those are kind of my comments, and thanks for taking my call. And as far as 92, I can remember everybody was complaining, we don't score enough. We got to get rid of the coach. He's not offensive enough. We get rid of him, and we went through the daggum triple mic.
There we go. So we're definitely not advocating getting rid of DeBoer. DC, let's do some rapid fire. X, DC. X, you have a question to start off with DC, or you want me to hit it first?
You go ahead.
All right, DC. We haven't even talked about the Auburn game. Give us your thoughts really quick. The Ryan Williams conversation is worth talking about. We got about 4 minutes, DC. Is DC there? Hello. Going once, going twice.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with the college football playoffs?
I think it's going to be interesting. Does Oklahoma's performance affect them? And if it affects them, how does it affect us? How they played LSU this past week, literally needing a blown coverage to win that game. It's a lot of things. How does it work with Notre Dame? Does Notre Dame slip? The fact that they keep moving up Oregon and BYU and Texas Tech is absolutely phenomenal to me, because they're doing it to kick somebody out. Does Ole Miss suffer the fate of Florida State a few years ago? Florida State got the boot because they lost their quarterback. Ole Miss is losing their entire offensive staff and their head coach. Does that hurt them?
Yeah, I think I don't think the FSU thing is an issue, because that was 4 teams. I think if you're looking at 4 teams, there's no way that Ole Miss doesn't make it. Now, what they've done, what they've done is if BYU loses, then there's no change that's going to happen.
But are they positioning Ole Miss to not host a game?
No, they're positioning Ole Miss to host Alabama and knock out an SEC team. Right now, they will play each other. That's what that's about. The matchup is 7-10, and there's gonna be a number 10 SEC team. If Alabama wins, I could literally see them flipping us in Georgia. Literally, and then it's Ole Miss in Georgia or Ole Miss in Alabama. If Alabama loses and we stay in, we're going to be probably number 10, or we'll be one of the bottom teams, and we'll still end up playing like Texas A&M as number 12 and I think number 5. I think that's what they're doing. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong.
So how does that set up with Ohio State and Indiana? If they lose,
they'll still be 1-4.
You think so?
Absolutely. Whichever one, they're going to say, well, their only loss was in a neutral site to the number 1 team, or their only loss was to the number 2 team. They're still top 4.
So
Georgia will be number 3 tonight. Texas Tech will be number 4. Oregon will be number 5. A&M will be number 6. Ole Miss will be number 7. Oklahoma may be 9, and Notre Dame may be 8, and Alabama will be 10, and then the other 2 don't matter.
I'm gonna laugh when Duke gets in there.
All right. Hey, I'm Mark Houston. That's Xavier Houston. We had DC. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, viewers, chatters, maniacs, all of you for being a part of the program. We do it every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 a.m. We appreciate you being a part of the program. You make it what it is. It's the Sound of Alabama Sports, your show, your team. Remember this, trust the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. All you need to knowledge Him. We will direct the path. Roll Tide, everybody.
What's your pleasure? Everyone
Thank you for listening to The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.